What's up? So I know it's been a while since I've seen you, and I've just been really dealing with this move. And you don't really realize it, like just how kind of like demanding a move is, especially when you get older. And remember when you were a kid and you moved, and it was just like this adventure. You took your G.I. Joes or your Ninja Turtles, and then you just kind of like had fun along the way. Like it was just this fun adventure. And now it's like as you get older, you kind of look at it as a process. And so I just kind of want to touch on that and just say that like we need to keep our inner kid alive so that when we do go through struggles, when we do go through processes, that we're just taking it as an adventure. We're seeing it as an adventure instead of this process or this struggle. And, we'll just come out just so much better. So that's just kind of what I want to touch on. Keep that inner kid alive, and let's get started. Hey, what's going on, everybody? So in this video, I'm showing you visually how to restore your headlights. We've seen a million headlight restore videos, and I'm not going to go into specifics on how to restore your headlights. I will address a few important issues, but the main purpose of this video is going to be Q&A, which, I'm just going to answer some questions that have been sitting on the table for quite some time. Address a few concerns and that sort, and that's pretty much what this video is going to be about. If you like this style, if you like the Q&A and you want more Q&A videos, let me know in the comments. I'll definitely make some more videos. So with all that said, let's jump right into this Q&A here. Alright, the first question comes from G-Ray. This is like attending a master's class. You, sir, are very thorough and concise with your work. Kudos to you. I'm planning to do this to my W220 M12 722.6 C240. Thank you. And yes, thanks very much. But I saw somewhere in the comments where someone had said that I must be a master tech or something like that. To answer that question, or if you guys have thought of that, I am not. I have been working on cars since I was very young, and so I pretty much just kind of comes natural, and the Mercedes is just one of those cars that I just love working on. It's actually a really good car to work on, and I just take pleasure in doing all sorts of mechanic work. So hope that answers everybody's question on that. All right, next question. All right, this is from Eyes Wide Shut. Great video as always. Are you ever going to do a video changing the rear main seal? That's a serious repair and there's no current videos out for that. Yes, I will do a video on changing the rear main seal. I have a ton of videos in the queue, so that's definitely one that's going to come around in rotation, but I will get to that. Thanks for asking. All right, this is from David Pereira. Do you have a link to the stainless replacement bolts you use? Thanks so much for the video. All right, this video, he's talking about the valve cover gasket and there's stainless steel bolts for the breather plates, and you're gonna need 5, and I did put a link in the description for them, so check out the description and you'll see the link and you can pick them up off Amazon. All right, let's go on to the next question. This comes from Path Patel. How bad is it if you forget to cover the bolt holes on one of the covers? Ooh, you definitely want to have bolts in all of the designated spots for them. You don't want to leave any bolt holes open. You can get dirt in there, and you can also not create a good seal. That's what the bolts are there for, to really just make sure that everything is sealed up and there's no leaks or anything like that, or you don't lose any kind of pressure. So definitely get a bolt in there wherever you're missing a bolt, and try not to go too long with it without a bolt. So yeah, hope that answers your question. Thanks for asking. All right, this comes from Rudy Ramirez. Hey man, I was wondering if you can help me. Pretty much what this question is saying, just gonna kind of shorten it up here because it's pretty long. But when you go over 50 miles an hour, 4,000 RPM, the car shakes and jerks. And when you go below that, it's fine. Could it be a misfire or anything like that? Or to answer your question, it could be a few things. Definitely, the first thing I would do is just try to get it hooked up to the STAR diagnostic system and see what the computer is telling you. That's really the best thing. It could be something like your harmonic balancers out, just kind of worn out, or it could be a misfire in more than just one cylinder. It could be your wheels aren't balanced. It could be bad bushings. Could be a number of things. So first thing I would do is just get it hooked up to the STAR system, see if there's anything major going on with the engine. After that, check wear signs around the harmonic balancer, the bushings, make sure those wheels are balanced and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much the best thing I can advise. If any of those things kind of don't work, then take it to a dealer and see what they say. That's really the best advice I can give you. All right, moving on. All right, this comes from Jimmy. Come do my gaskets, pretty please. Unfortunately, I don't do outcall, I think, repairs, although that would be pretty cool. Maybe sometime in the future I'll get to that, but as for now, all of my I guess repairs are done through YouTube, so it's just through my videos for the moment. But in the future, if anything comes up, I will definitely let you know, and I'll let everybody else know out there. All right, moving on. Thanks for the question. All right, this comes from Love Preet Ajula. Hope I got that name right. Thank you for the video. You're about to save me $900 in labor cost. Question I have is, how necessary is it for the last step with the dial machine? You're talking about the wheel hub in-play adjustment. And that last step where you want to put on the dial indicator and really just make sure that everything is dialed in to spec. That is really important, because if your wheels are too loose, meaning if it's out of spec on the loose end, then your wheels will shake. You'll feel it in the steering wheel. Your steering wheel will shake, and that can just lead to premature wear on all of the components in that area. If it's too tight, then it'll definitely wear out the bearings faster than their intended lifespan. So if you can really use the dial indicator, you can get it at Harbor Freight for a really good price. You can find it on Amazon for a really good price. I'll leave a link in the description for a good dial indicator on Amazon, and you can pick it up. All right, this comes from E90 BMW. I am so confused on seating the hub part. How do you know it's seated? Well, okay, what you want to do is you want to go and you want to just put the hub on and then hand tighten the big nut. You want to just hand tighten that and then spin the wheel and then hand tighten it, back it up and then hand tighten it. And pretty much you're just balancing the hub, and it's gonna really seat itself. You can't force it on. and it's gonna stop when you know it seats itself pretty much. So you don't have to like really try to force it on there. You're just kind of balancing it on there so it's not on, I guess, lopsided, which could cause balancing issues. So that's pretty much the best way to do it, is just tighten the nut, rotate it, back it off, then rotate it, tighten it again, back it off, and tighten it again, just to balance it. And that's how you're going to seat the hub. So hope that answers your question. All right, hey Larry Bird, glad to have you in this Q&A. All right, so what about removing the wheel bearing on a Mercedes-Benz S430 2002? Anyone? And the W220 is the same for, you know, years up to 98 to 2006, I believe. So the wheel hub's gonna be the same. You know, just when you go to put in the part, or the, you know, when you go to order the part, just put in your year and everything like that, and the procedure will be the same. So there's nothing to worry in terms of, you know, year specific. It's, you know, it just comes down to the W220. So hope that answers your question, and hope you're enjoying that retirement. This comes from Ben's Guy LV. Great video. What kind of camera? It's good quality. The camera that I started out using was a Canon T2i. Then I upgraded to a Canon 80D, and then after that I upgraded to the Canon EOS R. Alright, this question comes from Bert Poindexter. Where did you buy your parts from, and does it fit the S500 sedan? I get all of my parts from usually two sources. It's Autohaus AZ and Rocky Mountain European. I'll leave a link for the description for those two websites. After that, usually if I can't find what I'm looking for on those two websites, then I'll go to Amazon. But for the most part, I can find everything that I need through Autohaus AZ and Rocky Mountain European. So I'll leave a link for those I'll leave a link in the description for those two websites. All right, this question comes from Studio M Photo. Can you adjust the nut with the caliper on? And the answer is no. You're gonna have to remove the caliper because the caliper is holding the brake rotor, so you can't adjust the rotor to see how much play you have. So you're gonna have to remove the caliper. Could you remove the brake pads and keep the caliper on? That's an interesting question. That's something I just thought about, but I mean, at that point you're cutting corners and you're trying to skip steps, and that can just create more problems. So just remove the caliper. That's the best advice. Okay, this comes from Kentucky Let's Talk. I need a right rear hub assembly, but I can't find one. Question: can I buy a front rear, and will it work on the rear? This is going back to the wheel hub adjustment, and I would order a rear hub assembly. I wouldn't try to put a front hub assembly in the rear. So I would order a rear specific. All right, this is from Teddy AGP. Don't fully understand around 2549. Can we just tighten them up and use the dial indicator to check play? And yes, that's what you're gonna do, but you just don't want to tighten it too tight. So you're just gonna tighten up the nut, get everything the way it is, and then you're gonna check for the in play. And then if it's too loose or too tight, then you'll just undo the nut, back it off just a hair, and then tighten it again, and then check for play that way. So I hope that answers your question. All right, this question comes from Earl Vanzy. What is the red dipstick for? Is it for the transmission? Actually, it's a cap, it's a plug, and I swapped it out for the dipstick just because the dipstick is prone to breaking. So I have a video. I will put it in this video. I'll put a link up, and it explains all about the red cap and the dipstick and the oil tube. So look out for that video.